I'm here to ask an important question. Have you spent much time thinking about your 3 times great-grandmother's underwear? No? I'm shocked. Well, rest assured, because I have. I'm a fashion historian, so I study the dress of the past. Picture an 18th or 19th century dress, something elaborate and formal, tight waists and big skirts. Now picture that same dress worn by a pregnant woman. Not so easy. Yet a woman 200 years ago could have an average of 6 children. By the mid-1800s, 35% of married British women had more than 8. This represents a huge swathe of a woman's life and wardrobe. So it's surprising that we know little about how they actually dressed for pregnancy, or for that matter, breastfeeding at the time. It's that oversight my research set out to correct. I traveled to museums on 3 continents, studying surviving garments. Drawing on material culture, a field which casts objects as emissaries from the past that open up often overlooked experiences, I tracked down, measured, and catalogued 300 garments for pregnancy and nursing. Clothes tell stories about who we are, and the stories that emerge from let-out waistlines and slits cut through bodices were of both fashion and reproductive bodies. Negotiating motherhood is as complicated and relevant today as it was 200 years ago. And these stories undermine the idea of past mothers as undressed and invisible. Take this object, a maternity corset. Its wearer's name has been lost to history, but its details reveal how she dressed. The very idea of a maternity corset may strike horror in contemporary eyes, but this piece has been altered to create space and add support, not to suppress and repress. Armed with such a garment, a pregnant woman could continue the gendered, but hardly invisible, activities of her normal life. How we choose to cover ourselves is, and always has been, political, social, and contentious. Just days ago, a woman breastfeeding at the Victoria and Albert Museum was asked to cover up, despite being surrounded by bare-breasted statues. We articulate our traditions and measure our progress relative to a perception of the past. Any corruption of that corrupts our progress in the present. A fuller picture of how women manage the intimate and public aspects of motherhood in history is a fairer base for how we treat them today. I can't ask your grandmother's great-grandma how she managed, but I can ask her clothing. Thank you.